First did the piece in 1992. It opened at the Edinburgh Festival, and goodness knows what it looked like. I'd hate to see it now, but it went down quite well. My name is Matthew Bourne. My job title is Artistic Director and Choreographer. So I work with a lot of brilliant people. So I'm sort of the figurehead in some ways that enables a lot of other people to do brilliant work. Favourite thing at the moment, and the most rewarding thing, is two things actually. One is talent development within the company and outside of the company. I love the idea that we can inspire and create new artists. The other great thing about my job, I think, is over the years has been the growth of audiences for dance and the sort of work that we do around the country. That's something I'm very proud of, and it's one of the most rewarding things that I've done in my career, I think, is build that dance audience. First did the piece in 1992. It was a surprise to make the piece in the first place. It wasn't something I would have planned to have done. We were a very small company at the time of making it. We were given the resources by a company called Opera North, and we could work with more dancers than we would normally work with, and with a large orchestra and a bigger budget, you know, to make big sets and costumes and things we'd never dreamed of before. So it was extremely influential on what was to come later. But at the time, it just seemed like a crazy thing to be offered to do, and we just entered into it and did our best. And it opened at the Edinburgh Festival, and goodness knows what it looked like. I'd hate to see it now, but it went down quite well, you know, because I think there's so many versions of Nutcracker, which are all classical. But there were very few takes on it that were very different, so I think it was welcomed as something a little bit more original and more sort of thought-provoking maybe about this particular piece, this favourite piece. For us as a company, it really made me and my colleagues think about telling bigger stories, longer stories throughout the whole evening. We'd done quite small pieces before this. And it led to everything we do now. And so it's a much loved piece within the company, but we haven't done it for 10 years. We don't do it every year. The real impetus for bringing it back was the chance to take another look at it and bring it into this, the next century in a way. To let Anthony Ward, who's our original designer, have another look at the costumes and the sets, and we worked together on that. And it was a real treat actually to be able to do that and give the public a new version of this piece. So some of the costumes are a bit more sleek in design, but also they look incredible. I mean, Anthony's I would say it's his fantastical side comes out in this piece. Nutcracker's influences haven't changed, and the cultural references are fairly classic ones, like Dickensian orphanage. You know, it's this very sort of thing that everyone understands. The books of Charles Dickens and how that inspired some of the beginning of the show. The Knickerbocker Glory character, he has a gap tooth, and he's sort of based on a very famous British comic actor called Terry Thomas. But our skating scene is sort of based on an Olympic skating star called Sonia Henney, and she became a Hollywood star, and they created these extravaganzas on ice around this special talent she had. And they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and that was very inspiring for our snow scene, where we give the illusion of ice skating through the movement. We have an amazing set of characters which young people love actually when they see the piece, and all people love actually, but particularly I wanted characters that young people could identify with. And all our characters are based on famous confectionery, like I said, the marshmallows, the gobstoppers, and Knickerbocker Glory, which is ice cream sundae. We're the only version of Nutcracker that has these characters. But this is what we have as our trump card actually. We have a whole series of characters which don't exist anywhere else. So very proud of those actually, that we invented those characters. And they've become very much at the heart of the piece now, you know, and what people know of the piece. So the idea was to link the characters that we meet in the orphanage with the characters that are in her dream. It's about taking someone's real life and the people they know, and then going into her dream world, and those people are still there, but they're heightened and they become other characters. And that was one of the big ideas for the piece. There's only one reason that Nutcracker is still around today, and that's because of the music. It's drama driven, it's story driven music. And of course with Tchaikovsky you know when you've got to dance because it goes into a great waltz or something and you know that those are the dances. It's a lot of fun and a lot of it is in a fantasy world. But at the heart of it there is, there's the sense of growing up. Always for us, you want some heart in a piece. You want the heart of the piece to be something that resonates with people. But I think what we wanted to create was something that was genuinely for all the family. The laughter of young people, children in this show is always lovely to hear, and it very much plays to that. But it also, on a more sophisticated level, it plays to an adult audience, and it's not a privileged world that only is seen in opera houses. It's something that everyone can enjoy. Well, New Adventures has its reputation, I think, of being of this enormous warmth coming from the stage. To audiences. It's a two-way thing. And maybe that started with Nutcracker, it was the first one that we did. We realised we've revived it. This is our 8th time of doing it. And it has created this lovely connection between us and audiences that we try and have in every show, actually. It was the first show that actually reached across the footlights and kind of brought the audience to the stage in that kind of way. So it's I think we learnt a lot along the way with Nutcracker and the joy it brings to audiences and how we can make that happen.